Hello, welcome back. General Commander Burt here, wondering if the Knicks are ready for the playoffs. We're pretty sure they're going to make it into it. They're playing pretty well, but these last few games has got people a little worried. Now, one of my favorite contributors on the Knicks subreddit, Starks3_, was asking to see how does Randle handle the double teams now. Because we know when they played Atlanta, we weren't having a good time. Randle was getting doubled, and we had no offense outside of that. And half of it is not having a point guard. Half of it was Randle making the wrong decisions. So, I know Miami likes to double a lot, especially Randle. Get him out of his comfort zone, make him give up the ball, make somebody else beat you, which is a good plan. It didn't work the last couple of times we played them, but this last game didn't really work either. So what changed? And we can see the addition of Jalen Brunson has been a very big contributing factor to the Knicks' success and the lack of success the double team has been having on Randle. Because now they have to play honest on Brunson. They have to play honest on Grimes, on IQ, all of our shooters, RJ. And because of that, it's not as effective. There are teams that I saw were a lot more quick to double and aggressive about it, but I don't have clips for them right now. I just have this Miami game. Towards the end of the season, maybe I can do a deeper dive on it if it becomes more of a factor, but right now I think we can just take the recency bias, small sample size, and get a good idea of what Randle's been doing. Because it's not the same Randle that we've been seeing against Atlanta in the playoffs, and it's not the same Randle with no point guard. So with the addition of Brunson, they're having to play a lot more honest. So let's just jump into our clips here.
The memories alive throughout tonight's telecast.
The Heat are the lowest scoring team in the league, 109 per game.
He catches an entry pass right side, and before the double can even get set, they're thinking he's going to drive. All he does, pull up for the jump shot, easy money.
The memories alive throughout tonight's telecast.
The Heat are the lowest scoring team in the league, 109 per game.
So this is recognition that, on Randle's part, that he has a guy coming. He doesn't have an outlet pass, really. I mean, he can kick it back to the guy who gave it to him, but without somebody close to him or a guy cutting to the middle, he's just got to pull up for that shot. Don't give him time to get set up on the defense and maybe hit the ball away or spin or lose it, whatever we're used to. So that's nice recognition and a nice way to start the game. Now, second up.
Walker right up into Julius Randle. Barrett on the baseline. The drive, the shot, it's good. Went right out of bio.
We see Randle doing his best Carmelo Anthony impression. Little jab step, keeping the ball high. Then he gets into his three-point stance. He's saying, oh, what am I going to do with it? He can, right, a ball handler with the ball in that position can do anything. Shoot, dribble, pass. So they're ready for him. Most importantly, though, he's got Butler on, and Butler's playing really good to his chest. But you can see RJ's man ever so slightly start to creep over, try to put that double pressure on Randle. And as soon as that defender takes an extra step towards Randle, he kicks the ball out to RJ. RJ drives it in, gets that layup.
Walker right up into Julius Randle. Barrett on the baseline. The drive, the shot, it's good. Went right out of bio.
And again, this is just recognition of the defense and what he's got, to attack with. And obviously, if he puts the ball down to his right, he's got somebody. If he puts the ball down to his left, he's got somebody. Defenders, I mean. So instead of doing all that, kicks the ball out to the open man. He doesn't even really dribble with it. So, again, nice recognition and making him pay for thinking that they can double him and not be aggressive. Now, if his defender came over hard and really tried to trap him and really tried to do it, maybe he wouldn't have got that pass off. But he didn't do that. He was still tentative. He knew he had to stick with RJ. And what do they say? Cheaters get burned. So took one too many steps over towards Randle, thinking about a double, didn't commit to it, and Randle kicks it out, makes a good play. And this is the final footage I have from this last game. And this I like a lot because this is something we've been seeing a lot this season.
Time. Randle averaging 33 a game against these guys. Silent night tonight.
Randle, shot, counted, and a foul. Randle had the height advantage, took his time, drew a little contact, and a chance for a three-point play.
Randle's still a little pugnacious. He's already been teed up tonight. They've been double teaming him. Lowry right there, Seuss. So Randle's shooting one.
Randle gets the ball, starts to work in the post. Again, he can do anything. Shoot, pass, dribble. They come over with a soft double again on his weak side. And Randle, when he realizes they're coming for a double, he does this a lot. He'll spin into the double, catch their hands, and he'll go up in a shooting motion. They've already been caught with a foul. And he'll just glide right over and hit the and one. And we saw it last night. And I think we're going to keep seeing it because this is something he's been doing all season. And I wish I had more clips to show you, like a little montage. But anybody who's been watching the games can attest to that. He's been doing this all season. Just spins into the contact, doesn't give him a chance to double. He's making quick decisions. And it also helps that he's shooting those shots at a high percentage. So we like to see it.
Time. Randle averaging 33 a game against these guys. Silent night tonight.
Randle, shot, counted, and a foul. Randle had the height advantage, took his time, drew a little contact, and a chance for a three-point play.
Randle's still a little pugnacious. He's already been teed up tonight. They've been double teaming him. Lowry right there, Seuss. So Randle's shooting one.
So are the Knicks ready for the playoffs as they are right now? And I got to say yes with a but. And the but is it's not Randle, it's not Brunson, it's not even Grimes or Quickly or Mitch. If everybody's healthy, that's going to be fine. It's going to be a non-issue. These guys are competitors. They're ready to go. I think this season the biggest X factor going into the playoffs is going to be RJ. Now look at the box scores from the Miami game last night, and we see Grimes with 20-something, IQ with 20-something, Randle with 20-something, and then RJ with, I think he had 10 or something like that. Not good. It was like 3 for 12 field goal percentage, really, really low percentage, and that's been consistent all year. He'll have a really good game on both ends of the ball and then puts up a little stinker. And I don't know if that's so much Miami's defense or what, but that's going to be a factor for sure. I think even with the body language, even with whatever people want to talk about, narrative that they want to talk about with Randle, I don't think that's going to matter because it's going to be playoff refs, not regular season refs, not bullshit refs. Playoff refs, and maybe we won't get the same calls, but neither will the other team. And that's what's really frustrating Randle is that they're calling the Knicks on all these little ticky-tack fouls and nonsense, but they don't give it back. So it's not called consistently. So in the playoffs, if the game is called, even if it's a weak call, even if they're not calling fouls, they're letting them play, even if that's the case, it's important that they call it consistently because the Knicks, we see they can deal with playing physical. They can deal with being targeted, but they can't deal with an unfair, biased refereeing. So going into the playoffs, I'm not so worried about Randle's mental. I'm not so worried about any of that. I'm worried about how the refs are going to call the game. If they're going to let us play physical, that's actually an advantage if they don't call fouls for each team. That's an advantage for the Knicks, I think. It's when they start calling ticky-tacks on the Knicks and then let the Knicks get mauled. That's when Randle gets pissed. So we saw it against Orlando at the end of the half, I think. Wagner, it wasn't even like a foul, whatever. He was just standing there. Randle kind of ran into him in the backcourt and fell. and got annoyed with the ref. He's like, you see me getting hit. That was a little, I don't think it was really a foul or anything worth getting upset about. But put yourself in Randle's shoes where it's like you're getting hacked a lot and then you can't do anything on defense. So you're getting hacked and no one's getting calls. And then when you play defense, you're getting every little call. So it's a frustrating scenario to be in. I don't really blame him for that. And I don't even blame him for really like railing on IQ. I think if you've ever been in a team environment, a work environment, you get used to people that are a little emotional. And we were saying it in the chat on the Discord during the game that he's just one of those guys who maybe takes it a little bit too far and like just can't let things go. And that's definitely, we've seen that. He's definitely someone who can't let things go. He takes it very personal. He just wants to play his game, have the game ref the right way so he can, do what he does. Because now the narrative is going to be, oh, the Knicks lost to Orlando and the Knicks lost to Miami. And I just don't think that's entirely fair because we didn't lose to Orlando or Miami. We lost to Orlando and the refs. We lost to Miami and the refs. So I don't want to, slander the refs so much to say that's the reason we're losing. Obviously, RJ needs to play better. Obviously, not having Brunson is a factor. But look at around the league. Every single game, every single night has some of the most ridiculous calls I've ever seen. And the ridiculous non-calls. We saw Jimmy Butler change his pivot foot twice. We saw tons of fouls going uncalls. And this is across the league. I'm not even saying just against Miami. This is across the league. And it's at their discretion. And they're biased, and they're only humans. So I get, missing calls. I get it. But when it's so prolific, and Breen was saying on the call last night, it's because it's a bunch of new refs. But in the same breath, he says, but this is actually a veteran squad. So, Breen, I appreciate you, sticking up for the league, sticking up for the refs, and letting us know, hey, maybe this is a contributing factor that it's a young ref squad. But when you say that, and we don't have a young ref squad, it's a veteran squad making the mistakes. Like, that's just, we know what they did to the Kings, right, with Chris Webber. We know what they did. And if you don't know what they did, you should look it up because they really screwed the Kings against the Lakers in that playoffs. So I don't remember what year it was. You're going to have to find out. But it's pretty easy to find out. So, are the Knicks ready for the playoffs? I think yes. But as all games this year, it seems like RJ's got to step up and really solidify himself. Now, I liked what Thibs is doing with him, telling him, get to the rim, stop shooting so much, get to the rim. Just do the things that are easy for you. Do the things that are high percentage, do the things that puts pressure on the defense, and the rest will come. Because now they're looking at you to drive and you can pull up for a shot. Maybe you're more open and it's easier for you to make the shot. But either way, Thibs is telling him to get to the rim. And we saw a lot of really nice finishes from RJ around the rim, high off the glass, right hand, left hand, in traffic, whatever. We're seeing a lot of good stuff from RJ in that regard. But going to have to be consistent. Going to have to bring it in the playoffs. And I don't think doubling Randle is going to be a problem. Because they're gonna. If we get the Cavaliers, they are going to send Mobley, and they're going to send, I don't even know who else they got on their team, but they're going to send Mobley for sure to double Randle, to double Brunson, give up the ball, give it to somebody less strong with the ball, make the other people beat you, make them make mistakes. That's what they're going to do. And from what I've been seeing from Randle recently, if it's not an aggressive trap, he's making the right decision. Now, there have been some games that I don't have footage of right now, but there has been some games where they do aggressively trap and he does not respond well. But the nice caveat is when they do that, it's like, okay, Randle, go take a break, give it to Brunson, give it to IQ, give it to someone else, and let them work. And they'll break down the defense, kick it out back to Randle maybe, and now he's got one-on-one. They're already discombobulated, whatever. So I'm not too worried about the Randle doubles. I'm not too worried about Jalen Brunson. I'm not worried about Grimes hitting threes, IQ getting back into it. Like, we've seen that they can do it on both ends of the ball. What I want to see into the playoffs is consistency from RJ and just keep putting the effort in. So I think they're good on effort. We just need to get a little bit more consistent from all of our players, especially RJ, and keep looking for those double teams and addressing it well. So that read and react offense that we've been talking about since last season is really coming into form now, because now we have players that it seems Randle trusts them, right? It seems Brunson trusts them, that if I kick the ball out, good things will happen. If I move the ball, good things will happen. So if I read and react this defense correctly, good things will happen. And we're seeing good things happen. You know, we're having a very good season. I know I've been quiet all season, but once the season got going, there were some losses, there were some wins, there was a lot of people mixed bag of like what this team looks like. And now, you know, we have All-Star Randle. Brunson should have got that nod, but didn't. That's all right. He's playing at that level. IQ has stepped up. Grimes has stepped up. I know people want to talk about Mitch's social media, but I don't care. Like, as long as he keeps coming out, playing defense, working hard, all that stuff is a non-issue for me. I think the team looks really good. And I wanted to address it earlier. I just, you know, I haven't had time for it. I've been working, life, and whatever. But here we are going in the end of the season, and we're going looking at the playoffs. And that's a great, great feeling, because I don't think – I expected maybe play-ins. I expected, you know, a good fight for 6, 7, 8 seed maybe. But the fact that we're like looking more like 4th, 5th, 6th is really, really nice. So if we get the Cavaliers first round, I really think we can win it. And the only reason I think that is because of our defense. And we all know that wins championships, and that's what wears teams down. You got to be able to stop the ball. And this whole season, we've seen it. We've stopped some of the greatest scorers, some of the greatest teams, offensive teams. We've held them down and even pulled out some wins this season. So it's been really, really nice for me. I don't think I missed like maybe 2 games this season. So I hope everybody else is tuning in, really getting a good feel for this team. As they say, immaculate vibes, baby. I think it is really, really good. I think it's really good. So double teams, not that worried about. Point guard, not worried about anymore. So we're looking good. The team's looking really nice. And I'm going to end this by saying, even if we get a first-round exit, this season is a success. Because you can see the team culture growing. Thibodeau is really coming into form as its coach. I think the fan base has probably finally turned to his side and are seeing what he sees, which is all you can ask for, because they were asking to fire him, you know, a week into the season. So I think he's here to stay at least another 2 years probably. I don't know what his contract is. And I think I saw another write-up saying, the Knicks are in a position they can make 2 trades if they want to. And while I think that's, you know, I think it was Windhorst, so I don't put too much stock into what he says. He's just a stirrer. But Windhorst said, they can make 2 trades if they really want to. And that's true. And that's a great thing to have and to know about, because, hey, if things aren't working next season, we can make a big trade. If we want to go in the offseason, make a big trade, we can do that. But more importantly is the franchise is running things in a way that I think is going to have fruits coming out soon, and it's going to have longevity, because we're keeping our picks, we're developing our young guys, we're honoring the guys that we sign. You know, we're giving the keys to Brunson, giving the keys to Randle. Look at Hart, just plug and play. He's like, I love being here. So really, really, really nice moves going from the front office, and I want that to continue regardless of how we do in the playoffs this year. And I think we're ready. I think the Knicks are ready for the playoffs. And it's going to be a whole different ball game. It's going to be playoff refs. We're going to see the same team in and out. 7 games at least, right? So I think we can do it, especially if it's the Cavaliers. Even if it's the Nets. I don't know. I don't know who else is battling for that spot. But either way, I think once we get locked in to our assignment, right? Once we get locked in with the refs, we know how to play. We know what they're calling. It's going to be a much different game. Physical game, I hope, as we've been playing a fast transition game, as we've been playing all year. So I'm pretty excited for the playoffs, and I'm pretty excited that doubling Randle isn't going to completely destroy our offense. So I know this is a small sample size. It's only 3 clips, But I think the reason it's a small sample size too is because teams they're realizing they're not able to do that anymore. So you can't just double Randle all game. They're not really doing that. They can't rely on that. And that's a great thing. So that's improvement, and that's something that I'm really, really happy about this season. So that's it for me, I think. I kind of rambled a little bit too much. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. I know I've been quiet this season. I hope this kind of makes up for the fact that I haven't made a video since preseason. Now we're getting ready for the playoffs, and I'm seeing a lot of really good things. Really happy with where the team is. I hope you guys are too. And shoot me a comment. Let me know if you want to see anything specific before the season ends. We got a couple more games. And if you want to see something, let me know, and I'll try and work on it. So shout out to Starks3_ over there on Reddit. If you ever see them talking in the daily chat or making some comments, it's always a worthwhile read to get some good basketball info, get some good conversation going. So with that said, let's go Knicks, and let's finish out this season strong. Look forward to seeing you guys next game. And we'll talk about it, all right? So I'm General Commander Bert, and I'm here talking Knicks. Thank you so much.
Bert knows basketball, y'all.